If you're consistently polishing your silver jewelry, pause. You might not need to at all, or at least not nearly as much. In fact, polishing will actually wear down your pieces over time, so they'll eventually lose all that detail. Instead, it's better to take a preventative approach, so you don't need to polish in the first place. There are two main ways that your silver jewelry will show its age. The first is everybody's favorite quality of silver: tarnish. See, sterling silver is 92.5% silver, usually alloyed with 7.5% copper. This makes silver jewelry much more durable, but copper reacts easily with the oxygen in the air. It will oxidize, darkening the color of your piece. However, the good news is this reaction is only on the surface and is easily cleaned with a polishing cloth or a cleaning solution. To minimize tarnish, just follow these few steps. Make sure you store your jewelry when it's completely dry. So don't put it in your jewelry box after washing your hands or anything like that. And you want to store it in a place that's as airtight as possible. Some people will put them in airtight anti-tarnish bags. You can do this with simple little Ziploc bags or really anything that's airtight, but I personally don't. And I work with silver jewelry and I have a lot of it, and none of it ever really tarnishes that drastically if you just store it when it's dry in a decently airtight space. When you put your jewelry on, do it after applying lotions or using any sort of products. Essentially, make it the last part of your routine for getting ready. This will reduce any chemicals that come in contact with silver. The last and most interesting way to prevent tarnish sounds really counterintuitive. It's how I personally do it. That is to wear them 24/7. I wear it in the shower, doing dishes, working out. I wear pieces for months at a time. I sleep in them. Of course, you can't really do this with super delicate pieces because, if you roll on top of them, then you'll probably wish they were just tarnished. You might think that this would increase tarnish, but it's actually the opposite. You see, the oils on your skin will form a layer over the jewelry, and this blocks the oxygen from reacting with the surface of the silver. So as a result, it never really tarnishes. When I do polish, it's maybe a couple times a year, honestly. So to recap, store your jewelry when it's dry, store it in a relatively airtight space. When you're getting ready, put it on after you use all your products, and consider wearing it frequently. The second way your jewelry will show its age is a bit more serious. So you really got to take care to avoid scratches. Unlike tarnish, scratching will require a professional to fix. But even then, this can remove a substantial amount of metal from your piece. So if it's really detailed, this can really dull the look of it, even after one time. I put a lot of work into making these videos high quality, but I swear, if you've seen how ghetto my setup is, you would not believe it. I got my book light over there sitting on top of a Brita filter on the ground. So I have a couple tips that I've learned over the years from both making jewelry and wearing jewelry to help minimize scratching. When you store your pieces, of course, store them in a space that doesn't have a lot of air, but also store them so they don't come in contact with each other. A lot of jewelry boxes have big open spaces and you can just throw a bunch of rings in there. As you might guess, they'll end up scratching each other every time you pull them out and put them back in. If you don't have individual slots for things, you can use those anti-tarnish bags. Not only will this prevent tarnish, but more importantly, it'll prevent them from scratching each other. And then with wearing your jewelry, if they're rings, this might be hard to hear for some because I like wearing rings a certain way, but really try to wear them on alternating fingers. And trust me, I love the look of rings on certain fingers together, but it's just not worth it. Take it from all my scratch rings. And on that note, when you're washing your hands, be mindful of rubbing them together. That's another thing I've noticed that probably contributes to the majority of the scratches on my rings. Then if you stack necklaces, make sure your chains are 4 to 6 inches different in length if they both have pendants on them. For example, when I do this, I often wear a 20-inch chain and a 24-inch chain. If only one of them has a pendant, then make sure they're at least 2 inches apart. You can see this is an 18-inch chain up here and a 20-inch chain right here. Pendants really never get scratched, so it's not worth stacking them poorly when they'd otherwise be almost perfect over a long period of time. So to recap, store your jewelry separately or in individual bags or even just far away from each other. Don't wear 2 rings next to each other, even if you want to. Resist the urge. One of my favorites is my ring finger pinky or sorry, I didn't mean to flip you off. The middle finger and the pinky. My bad. It's all love around here. And don't wear pendants on chains that are too close in length. So you can see this is all really preventative stuff. If you take the extra care in how you store your jewelry, put it on, and how you wear it, it really only takes a very occasional maintenance to keep it looking like new. And especially if you wear your jewelry all the time, it kind of forms a greater bond with your pieces, I think. And it just makes it so easy. You never really have to worry about cleaning them. So I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.